So Lloyd, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, man?
I'm okay. I'm doing well. So before we jump into the EP, I'd like to jump back to the beginning a little bit because,
hmm
well, everybody or most people I know listen to music, like music. What made you start to make music yourself?
it's a bit of a funny story because I mean, I always listened to music my whole life. I played the guitar as a kid, but was never really into it. So I can still play the guitar, but it was just never really my thing. And then I was always more into football and sports and stuff.
Mhm.
And then when I was uh, nearly finishing school, I got pretty sick. I had meningitis, and I had to stay at home for a long amount of time. And then I just got bored of everything, literally like PlayStation, TV, and stuff. And I grabbed my guitar again and just fell in love with like instead of like reading off notes and stuff, just creating my own like music. And that's how it just led, one thing led into another, learning, watching tutorials, how to record myself, how to produce, how to like record vocals and everything. And it was literally, I just fell in love with it and just, yeah, just taught myself how to make music, I guess.
When did the decision come to put your own vocals on it? Was that early on?
From the start, actually,
Okay.
yeah, I thought if I want to make music, I want to like do everything. So like make the music and I guess like be the artist. I've always liked, I mean, not I'm not center of attention, but I've always liked to like perform, I guess.
Okay.
I put on a bit of a show for people, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Did you ever, before that, put thoughts onto paper?
No, never.
Okay.
Never. That was literally just that's what set it off. I was just at home, stuck at home, and it was like I guess like a snowball effect. It just one thing led to another, yeah.
Do you remember the first track that you made that you were proud of?
Yeah, yes, I guess it's my first song that I've ever released, which was on X, because I've
Okay.
been making music for a long time, and on X was like the first one. Now looking back, it's not, obviously you always look back at your old music and think, oh, okay, what was that? But at the time I knew like that I wouldn't be too like embarrassed looking back, and like like it's still actually I still get people like sending me, oh, I love your song on X, which surprises me. But that was like the first I guess like project that I was like, okay, this is like my first song, I'm gonna put it out and make a music video and stuff. That was like, yeah, I didn't want to just put something out where I knew, oh, if it's out, because it's once it's
Mm.
out, it's gonna be out there. Like you can't take it back. So
Right.
yeah.
I read somewhere that you grew up listening to things like the Beatles, Motown, Eminem, Ed Sheeran, all that kind of stuff. So as you were making your own music, where
hmm
did you draw from, and did you have in mind what you wanted to sound like?
Yeah, so I never had in mind what I wanted to sound like. I just literally created music what I was like, just what I just liked, I guess. And that was a
Okay.
mix. Like it was a lot of, I guess, because I do listen to a lot of like hip hop, rap based. But that was like I guess like the main thing that like I'd say like my main genre. But there's loads of influences now. I mean, I
Mhm.
guess you see now as well with like this new EP. Um, of like rock and just I guess all it's cliche, but literally I listen to all genres. I mean, growing up, Motown was like from when I was a kid. I was listening to my mom always used to listen to Motown, and her being from Liverpool, also the
Mhm.
Beatles. So that's like as a kid, I was grew up listening to that, and then I got into my own like buying CDs, which was more like hip hop, rap based, like Eminem. Yeah, it's just I guess I don't really try and go down one lane. I just make music. Yeah, just it just ends up sounding how it does.
And you say you've always been a bit of a performer. So once the thought of doing live shows kind of came up, and then you
Yeah,
started doing them, what did you? Was that natural for you?
yeah. I was never too nervous, but obviously, like with everything at the start, they weren't that good. It's not as easy as you seem like to sing live or like to I mean, yeah, it's not as easy as one thinks. So it did take time to sort of to establish my craft, I guess, like the same as with making music. But yeah, I think like nerves and stuff was never a big. I mean, that was positive that I wasn't too nervous to like stand on stage in front of like a crowd. Yeah.
And one thing I suppose with this, especially in the modern age, where if you put something online, you'll get views and you'll get comments, but it's all kind of digital still. So once you go out there, you see actual people, and there's an actual connection you make with people. So what was that like to kind of have people know your songs and kind of have that connection with an audience?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically like the main reason why I make music, because I mean, it's cool to get, I don't know, 1 million plays on Spotify and this and that, but I mean, it's just numbers at the end of the day. And seeing people resonate, even like just getting DMs is cool. Seeing like, oh, I like resonate with your song or this or that. But actually, like at a concert, just seeing them know the lyrics or like seeing the emotions. If it's like just happy, crying, a mosh pit or anything, like, I mean, it's just nothing beats that. I mean, I think like to think most musicians or artists, like that's why they make music, is to like literally see people resonate with it.
And you also mentioned developing your craft. So if we kind of take the period from when Onyx came out to where we are now, how do you see that development?
Oh, I mean, a lot. I mean, I've learned from so many aspects. I mean, the thing is that what stayed the same is I've literally, all my songs I've put out have been recorded in my bedroom. So I've still got the same mic and the same laptop. I always say it's not, you don't need a lot, like it's not expensive to make music. Like my mic's is a $200 mic, and I mean, laptop's not that cheap, but yeah, I've had the same like setup from the start. So from Annex to literally this EP, it's just I've developed, I guess, like mix and mastering skills and just to make my music sonically sound better. And I guess also, just songwriting. I think Ed Sheeran once said, when you can compare it to, I like the comparison to like a tap. When you turn it on, like dirty water comes out, and then the more you just let it run, the clearer the water gets. So it's just practice makes perfect, I guess.
Well, especially those initial years, then were they difficult in a sense, figuring all that stuff out, or did you relish in it in a way?
No, I never. It was never difficult. It was. It's just, I guess, because if you love doing something, you want to learn more. You want to invest time into it, and it's always like that's all. My music is on my mind 24/7. So if you're just always like thinking about music or you want to learn, the internet is so helpful with tutorials on YouTube. Like literally, just if you want to know anything, you just go type it in on YouTube tutorial and you'll find an answer to it. Yeah.
And that's good, because the one thing I always wonder with musicians, because it's kind of, I suppose, underestimated how much work goes and how much effort goes into making a track and kind of trying to get the music out there. So what have you found for you that works for you? What have you, in terms of what you want to accomplish?
In what sense do you mean? Like,
well, in terms of how do you because one thing that is in every kind of description of you, it says DIY mentality, which is kind of a little bit of a vague term. But what is your approach, so to say, to what you want to do in music? What is the ambition?
Okay, so it's always, I guess, been just to make. The main focus has always been like make the best music, just the best product, I guess. Like just always get better at making music. If it's like it's like sonically songwriting, even like visuals, music videos or anything. Just get the best like product out there. And I mean, it's a cliche, but I mean, always they've always say like if you make good music, it will somehow you will get a certain exposure and will grow a fan base. And yeah, and I've always believed in that, and it's I've been doing it for a few years now, but it has shown that you can't, like, yeah, it just takes time, and music will people will find your music, like listeners that resonate with it.
Right. And now if we move now to the Rockstar EP, because you kind of mentioned that all of the different kinds of influences you had. And now I would say, and this is just my perception of it, but initially it was more hip hop, then you had a more 80s sounding song with 1985.
Yeah.
And now there's some rock elements, guitar elements.
Yeah.
So what was the approach for this Rockstar EP?
Well, I've always liked, anyway, like pop punk, like early 2000s. I've always listened to a lot of that. What I like is now it is actually becoming more of a thing. I mean, nowadays with new artists like Youngblood, MGK and stuff, they're like reinventing the old pop punk. And I was always interested in that. I've always liked, even if it was like hip hop or rap, I always like to have it guitar based, or always like have them influences in it. And I guess just it was with COVID, and all the lockdown and stuff. I was just I don't know. I missed my first song I done was Rockstar Life, and it was me missing like, I guess, like the sort of like going out, partying, going on tour, performing and everything. And I saw it like I guess it was like a form of release. So making the song, and I just got into it and really just liked it and thought I've got to like make a whole like project out of this. It just evolved from there.
Yeah, firstly, I agree. I don't know why there's not more guitar-based hip hop. They seem to, for me at least, hip hop and rock music blend really well. So I'm always surprised that it doesn't happen more.
Yeah.
But with what you mentioned, what I find interesting, then you say you're missing this kind of lifestyle of just having fun, going out and traveling a bit and stuff. But then you're also very aware in these songs of the flip side of having a life like that. So why was that important to show the other side?
Yeah, I mean, it come naturally, because when I make songs, it's literally going by what I feel. So in the past, I mean, with Flowers, for example, was a breakup song. Looking back, I literally wrote it after a breakup, or and like when I look back at my songs, and I remember writing this song because I felt this way. I realize it more afterwards, looking back, than in the moment. But I guess it was. I mean, the whole COVID, this whole pandemic is also highs and lows. So I mean, as much as I missed the highs of like partying and this and that, I got into like lows as well, which is part of the other like life, like the sort of, I mean, cliche, like rock star life is is such like a roller coaster of ups and downs. And I was going through it the same during this pandemic. So it was kind of parallel. So I was going through the same emotions, even though I was just stuck at home, as normal life. And I tried just to, with the lows, tried to be as honest as possible. Yeah.
So at home, those high were the highest and the creative aspect of what you were able to do, and then the lows, the kind of the fact that you couldn't share it in a direct sense.
No, I mean, literally just emotionally, I guess. Okay. Literally just emotionally. I mean, the lows is you miss like sort of normal life, and the highs are just literally, because I can live. I remember writing, like, for example, Rockstar Life. When I write songs, I'm sort of living it through. So it's like a release of energy, I guess. So with the highs, I was sort of getting my highs through writing the song and like letting out my energy and stuff. And with the lows, it's just the opposite.
Hmm. Well, I wrote a couple of lyrics down from the album. We can see if
Hmm.
we can delve into them a
Sure,
little
sure.
bit because I wrote down from 9 to 5 or 925. I don't know how you say it, but um,
Yeah, 9 to 5. Yeah.
9 to 5. How you think my life has changed? I've been doing this before fame, and that idea of having those highs and lows, whether you're in the spotlight or not, is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, so basically, I've always even before. Well, I don't see myself still as famous, but even before like having like a bit of success with music and stuff, I've always been quite like had quite a wild lifestyle. So like
Mm.
going out and like um yeah, just literally that lifestyle. So I'm just literally people think, oh, now this guy thinks he's a rock star, this or whatever. Like, no, it's not because I don't. I've literally been like living this sort of lifestyle before like making music or before anything. So my life hasn't changed. I guess it's just now I can perform in shows. It's gotten a bit like I don't know, more like to do with music, I guess.
Mm. Well, what do you have to, given this kind of overarching theme on Rockstar, what is your
Mhm.
idea of fame, or how do you feel about fame?
Mhm. F- Um, fame. I mean, it's. I'd like to see. Like, I think more like now going on to the rock star. Rock star is not like what a lot of people think. I think a rock star. You can be a rock star without a lot of fame. It's like more of a like an aura and a presence, and just yeah. I guess also like the lifestyle. Um, and I mean, fame is just for me. It's just something that comes with it. I mean, it's like I love the aspect of with fame you can make people happy, so like taking pictures or I don't know, giving away t-shirts or this or that. Like you can just making people happy. I haven't reached the level of fame where I have to say, oh, okay, it's like bothering me. I can imagine like higher levels of fame can be just very like I don't know, there can be very like negative aspects to it, but up to now it's for me I can't really complain. It's cool just to see like people get excited to take a picture with you or stuff. Yeah.
Mm. And now from Lonesome Mikashima, you mentioned that usually later, with a bit of reflection, you kind of pinpoint what you were thinking or the emotions you went through
Mhm.
as you were writing those songs. So with that
Yeah.
song, what kind of moment did that describe? Is it kind of, because the way I saw it was a moment on tour or something when all of a sudden it's quiet around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I wrote that when I was really in a very like a low place. Like obviously I wasn't on tour now with stuff, but
Mm.
I sort of it was just this you get them lows as well on tour because this that you have these highs where you come off stage, you're like getting cheered at and stuff, and then you go and you're to your hotel room and you're by yourself basically, and it's just such a roller coaster, and the highs are so high and the lows are so low. And I feel like in general, my emotions are sometimes I try it's not like I try I have it under control, but sometimes I do really get like really low lows because I'm quite, I guess, because I do um live out. I mean, I do have like high. I don't know. I guess it's really like a high like roller coaster where yeah, I don't know. It's a bit hard to explain,
No,
to be honest.
well,
Yeah.
maybe I can ask it a little bit differently because the way you
Mhm.
describe it now, um, does that help you creatively in a way? Do you think the way that the fact that you enjoy? Because I'm a very um,
Mhm.
what's the right word for it? I don't have that high. I don't go that high. I don't
Yeah.
go that low. I'm very
Yeah.
solid in the middle, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, so having kind of a more dynamic lifestyle, does that help you creatively, you think?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I guess it just looking at my music, I guess it helps me create like really like tracks like Lonesome, just I guess for where I see like it resonates with different types of people.
Mm.
So like Lonesome or these hype tracks, they have like a different listeners. So I guess I can reach like different people can what you call it? They can uh, what's the word? it's not associate, but they can like
Relate.
understand. You relate, exactly. They can relate to the different things. So I mean, if with it being like an up and a down, I can create music for different scenarios, different situations, and have different people relate to it.
Is your music very dependent on your mood in a way, and in
Yeah,
terms of
100%.
the musical side as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's no way I can make a sad song when I'm like, I feel like partying and stuff, and the other way around as well. So it's literally just whatever my mood is, that type of music I make. Yeah, which is good that my mood is like an up and down, because otherwise it would just always be the same.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, for somebody, because you mentioned kind of that high of being on a stage, and now for somebody who doesn't perform or hasn't really been on a stage, it's probably difficult to describe, but what is that feeling like?
Being on stage, or
getting
not being
that.
on stage?
No, being on stage. That's kind of the high point, I suppose, of that creative outlet.
Yeah, for me, being on stage is I feel like I'm there for the people. So I'm literally not doing a job, but I am there to entertain you. So, and I get like a pleasure out of that. I mean, I guess like if, I don't know, a hairdresser gets the pleasure of giving you a good haircut, it's like me being there to entertain you is like that was what gives me the kick, is seeing like the people like enjoying my music and having the light of their life. And yeah, and even if it's sometimes like it's a hard crowd or whatever, it's just, that's what a lot of artists feel like, oh, like, shit crowd. There's no sort of thing as a shit crowd. You're just a crap performer. You need to get the crowd going, and you're there for them. Sort of, they're there to see you. So you've got to like get them going, and yeah, you're there for them, and that's what keeps me like motivated, and that's what I do it for.
Yeah, I think that's a healthy mentality to have. So finally, with the world starting to slowly put itself back together, how do you look forward to the next, let's say, year, where shows are slowly starting to come in again, and then you kind of get to go back to the way you used to live?
Yeah, I mean, so excited. I mean, that's, like I said, that's what I make music for, is to perform it live. And even just the thought of now performing, I don't even if it's just for 5 people, or just even for my friends. I mean, last couple of weeks ago, I was at a home party. I was like, I'm going to perform a few songs. I just miss it. It's just, yeah, that's like really exciting to see that coming back. I mean, I think everyone's missed it. But me as a fan as well, going to concerts. I love going to concerts. So even going to see other artists and stuff, I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, so very last question then. Who is the first artist you want to go see when you're able?
Ooh, good question. I'd love to go to a festival. I've missed like festivals, even just camping. I don't care. Festivals with all different, like, I've got to say, Reading and Leeds Festival is cool because you've got all different types of genres. So you go to one tent, you've got like EDM, the other tent's like metal, the main stage, you've got like big pop artists. I think that is like a dream. Like, I've missed that so much. So go to like a festival with all different genres of music, and yeah, just have the time of my life.
Hopefully, yeah, like you say, we get to enjoy those type of things again very soon. So yeah. Lloyd, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Robin.